Welcome to episode 10 of Ask the Fascia Masters, where you ask us questions based on the things that we're sharing on our channels, and I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. Some of the highlights of this series will be talking about the benefits of complementing block therapy with other modalities, Bell's palsy, and compression fractures, to name a few. So once again, thank you so much, and let's dive in. A question came in asking if block therapy would help somebody if they have extreme bloating, even though they're eating healthy. One of the things we need to understand about the body and the mechanics, eating healthy is definitely something you want to do, but when we're not breathing diaphragmatically, we aren't giving the organs the benefit of the additional energy that happens with this muscle moving properly up and down in the core. That in itself is a huge game changer for how you digest, how you absorb and eliminate, but also simply understanding that our limbs also impact the alignment of the core. So when your legs and your arms aren't correctly in alignment, it creates a ton of compression. And that compression is largely also what's responsible for the bloating. So understanding how to release your current pattern, improve proper diaphragmatic breathing, and then also own correct alignment will definitely make a difference. A question came in about compression fractures and if block therapy would benefit. First of all, what we always teach is that we are literally over time compressing under the force of gravity and unconscious living. Block therapy really is the opposite of that. We decompress the body to put the space back in that time has taken away. So when we're talking about fractures, that's really an indicator that there has been a ton of alignment issues in the body and likely a very weak diaphragmatic breath. So this work will definitely benefit. And as always, it's very important that you follow the breath rule. Your breath is your guide. So no matter what practices you're doing, as long as you're breathing in a relaxed way, you will be supporting the body's innate healing. If anything hurts so much it takes that relaxed breath away, then that's your body saying this is too intense for you. Someone asked about believing they had a rib release and how do they know it's not something else? Rib pain is really common. We can have rib releases when we're actually doing the practice. It can be when you're reaching for something. It can be when you sneeze and essentially the rib lets go. Sometimes you can also sublux the rib from the actual spine or the sternum. So all of these things can create rib pain, whether or not it occurred from doing something specific as in a decompression technique or some other avenue. If you had it, basically it's inflammation that's creating that pain because the body is now in the rebuilding phase. Whether or not it's an actual rib release or just rib pain, you want to add energy into the system. We don't want to be icing and pulling away from movement. We want to do our best to support the body's natural response to healing, which is through adding heat, adding energy, adding conscious movement through proper breathing. So if you're needing some assistance with this, please reach out to support@blocktherapy.com. A question came in about vestibular issues and an asymmetrical jaw and if this work can help, and absolutely it can. In fact, the tongue decompression technique would be a great place to start working the jaw for 3 minutes every day. We'll put a link in the comments below so that you can access this video and give it a try right away. That in itself is going to be really beneficial because it's going to open up the channels for improving blood and oxygen flow, as well as the removal of waste materials from this space. So start with that, give it a try. And also remember to focus on that exhale for a count of 6 and inhale for a count of 4 so we can turn on that parasympathetic nervous system and bring your body into healing mode. Someone asked if this work would benefit somebody who can't stop blinking, which they believe is from stress. So of course, definitely if it's from stress, we really want to turn on that parasympathetic nervous system through focusing on exhaling for a count of 6 and inhaling for a count of 4. But another thing you can do is be really conscious about your eye movements. So close your eyes and then look up as though looking at 12 o'clock. Take one full slow exhale and then circle the entire clock. So then look toward 1 o'clock, one full breath, 2 o'clock, and so on. Wherever you feel weakness or pain, take your eyes back to there for 5 to 10 slow exhalations. Do this every day, and that's going to really improve blood and oxygen flow into this area, removing toxins as well, and also really help with the parasympathetic nervous system, that combination of the work plus the breath. So give that a try and reach back if it's made any positive improvements for you. A question came in about what can be done with neuropathy in the left leg when there hasn't been any damage in the spine and the doctor shared that there was no actual issues in the area. This will be compression on the nerves, creating that sensation. One of the first things that you can do is start working between the toes using either a rope, a pencil, or your finger. Take 3 minutes, work between each toe, feel that pain, focus on the exhalation, and do all toes. But make sure you do both sides, because your symptoms are in the one side, but both sides of the body are part of this equation. So make sure you do both. Focus on that exhale for a count of 6, inhale for 4 while you're doing the work to really optimize the benefits. Someone asked about chronic congestion and if block therapy would help. So first of all, whenever we have congestion, especially in this area, it's really an indicator that your lymphatics are blocked. Right here is the major lymphatic drainage site. We have major ones here, here, and here. So this whole area we definitely want to open up, but the tongue decompression technique would be a really great start for you. We'll put a link below so you can access this video. And if you do this every day, you're really going to start to improve that lymphatic drainage by opening up this channel here, which will help the drainage of everything above. Give that a start, and definitely this is a full body practice. So if you want to dive in further, because your lymphatics in general will be affected, this would be a benefit for you as well. A question came in about glaucoma and if block therapy will benefit. Fascia decompression will definitely benefit this issue, because really it's pressure in the eye. And this whole work is about decompressing the body, taking the tension away to minimize the pressure. We actually have had people reach back with numbers showing quite a dramatic decrease in eye pressure from doing this work. So definitely give it a try, and the breath is the key. If you also want to ask in our community group to see if other people have had positive benefit, you can go to the block therapy community on our Facebook page. An interesting question came in. Somebody was asking, could they be on their phone while they're doing block therapy? So I think I'm understanding this question properly. Can you basically distract yourself and entertain yourself? And 100% you can. There's no comparison to being thoughtful and conscious and in the moment with everything that we do. However, simply being on the block while you're doing other things will still give you benefit. It doesn't take away from that really intentional meditative component of block therapy, but you will get the benefit of fascia decompression, especially if you can still keep focused on that full exhalation. Someone reached out about Bell's palsy and if block therapy will benefit. And yes, we have many people that have had positive benefits using this work with Bell's palsy. And the reality is, again, you've got compression, you've got inflammation, you have stagnation affecting the nerves. When we start cleaning the body of the toxicity and we start improving blood and oxygen flow, it's amazing what will change. If you would like some additional support, you can always reach out to our block therapy community on Facebook, where if you ask that question, you may get a lot of wonderful support along the way with that as well. I often get asked about other modalities and if there's a benefit to them. So one came in about rolfing. And so first of all, I've never actually had a rolfing treatment, but I am all for people trying anything and everything, because you will never know what it feels like in your body until you try it. I also always share block therapy is a complement to anything and everything that you do, because ultimately when we're supporting our fascia system, we are opening up the channel so that anything else that you do will only get that much more benefit. So definitely give it a try and let us know how you feel. Thank you so much for watching. And if we didn't get to your questions, please list them in the comments below so that we can get to them in our next episode.